Coastrek for feet is prepare, prepare, prepare. You need to be spending time in your shoes and on your feet to give yourself the best chance of not getting an overuse injury and not having blisters. Your feet need time to adapt as you train, and you need to spend time identifying whether you're going to develop an overuse injury or whether you have a risk of developing blisters. You really should be getting your footwear sorted out well before the 12-week mark. You definitely don't want to be getting new shoes for event day or soon before event day because you're going to end up putting yourself at risk of overuse injury and blisters. Shoe selection, fit, lacing, really important things that you need to get right from the beginning. Also, you need to have a second pair of shoes to use on event day and in your training. Really important to use it in your training. Last year in Coastrek, it was a fine day, and I think a lot of people would use the same pair of shoes. The year before it was wet, and most people were changing their shoes because they were getting wet, they were full of sand, and when you've got a wet, sandy shoe, you're at high risk of blisters. So I highly recommend a second pair of shoes. The type of footwear that you should choose for Coastrek should be suitable for trail running, trail walking. It should be cushioned, should be stable, should have a good grip, and it should, really importantly, should be comfortable at initial fit. If a shoe isn't comfortable at initial fit, you're bound to have problems. Moisture wicking socks are essential to be worn. You can have wool, merino wool, or you can have synthetic, high-tech synthetics, which work quite well as well. Just depends on your skin type as to which one you prefer. Moisture wicking socks are really important as they draw the moisture away from the foot, the skin of the foot, and you're far less likely to get blisters if you're wearing socks like that. Multiple pairs of socks in your bag is essential on event day and in your training. If you're wearing foot orthotics for your training for Coastrek and on event day, you really want to make sure they're in the best possible condition and that they're perfect for your foot mechanics. Things change over years. We recommend that people have new orthotics every 3 to 5 years, particularly if they're getting any new injuries or if the orthotic is particularly worn. So definitely, if you're wearing foot orthotics for Coastrek or planning to wear foot orthotics for Coastrek, you need to get them checked early on, as it takes time for the assessments and for the orthotics to be remade if necessary. You're going to have to choose early on whether you're going to choose foot lubricants or blister prevention taping techniques to avoid hot spots and blisters. So a hot spot is an area of skin within the shoe that's under too much pressure or friction, which needs to have time to either get used to that level of pressure and friction, or you need to arrange a blister prevention strategy like foot lubrication or blister prevention taping. If you're going to be taping your feet, you need to be putting it on the night before. We tend to use a very thin tape such as Fix-A-Mall or Strap It, Fix It. What that means is that it isn't going to take room in your shoes, and it's going to allow your foot to move normally but reduce those hot spots. Lubricant as a blister prevention strategy can be really good for some people, and it can not work for others. So the best thing for you to do is to work out early on in your training whether foot lubricants are going to work for you. And if they do, that's fantastic. If they don't, stick to taping. Footcare and footwear is really important during Coastrek event because you want to finish the event, you want to have fun during the event, and the last thing we want to do is we don't want to be seeing people in pain. So do your training, have a good time.